So I'm going to try and give you as brief. You've been very patient with us. We've had a lot of information today. I hope we haven't overloaded you, but I hope you'll be able to go home with a lot of good information. So we're going to start off with the presentation, and we're going to start with the Water Conservation Board. It was created 75 years ago to help provide policy direction for Colorado on water issues. The CWCB represents every water basin in the state of Colorado, along with Denver and other state agencies, in a joint effort to use water wisely. This is a brief picture synopsis of what the Colorado Water Conservation Board is all about, what they're looking at, things that they're concerned about. The CWCB states on their website, "We envision a Colorado that balances municipal, industrial, agricultural, environmental, and recreational water needs and promotes cooperation among all water users." All of the information I have for you today, I got off of the internet. So if you want to get online, I've got some websites at the end of this presentation where you can get all of this information and a lot more. So the Water Conservation Board is governed by a 15-member board. Their responsibilities range from protecting their streams and lakes to water conservation, flood mitigation, and several other things that I've listed here. The CWCB is almost fully funded. The agency does not receive any funds from the general fund, and the majority of funding appropriations for the CWCB comes from the construction fund and a low-interest loan from the Colorado Water Conservation Board provided funds for us to build the compact compliance pipeline. And this was when we just first got started, and you can see that we were putting in the ductile iron, and Garney Construction was right in the middle of construction at that time. The Colorado Water for the 21st Century Act was enacted in Colorado in 2005, and it set up a couple of different entities that we'll talk about. The Interbasin Compact Committee and the Basin Roundtable. And the Basin Roundtable, there's a separate one in each river basin in Colorado. The IBCC has 27 members and encourages dialogue on water, broadens a range of stakeholders actively participating in water decisions, and creates a locally driven process where the decision-making rests with those that are living in the basins. And the 9 Basin Roundtables was also established by the Colorado Water for the 21st Century Act. And as I mentioned, there are 9 of them. There are 8 for the major river basins and also 1 for the Denver metropolitan area. You can see here I've listed all of the different roundtables, and notice that the South Platte Roundtable is where the Northern High Plains Basin is located. So that's the one that we're most interested in. So this is a map, and I apologize because it's really kind of hard to see, but you can, if you can see this yellow outline, that's the outside edge of the South Platte Roundtable area. This notch right here is the metro area, and you'll notice when you look at this, Colorado Springs is here. So the Denver area is in the metropolitan, but most of the Front Range is in our roundtable area. So our roundtable covers approximately 22,000 square miles, municipalities of Boulder, Fort Collins, Longmont, and Greeley. And the projected population is estimated to double to between 1.9 to 2.6 million people. Nearly 2/3 of the increase of the state's gross municipal and industrial demand is going to be in our area, which they call the overall South Platte Basin. It includes the South Platte Roundtable and the metropolitan. So this is a map, and the reason why I have it is just to show you the outlying area of our South Platte Roundtable. And you'll notice here again, it's the Front Range, Fort Collins, up in towards Estes Park, and completely out here. Here is the Northern High Plains Basin where we are located. Here's the South Fork, the North Fork. I'm sorry, this is the Arickaree. This is the North Fork and the South Fork. So the South Platte Roundtable meets on the second Tuesday of the month, usually in Longmont. They did have their last meeting in Sterling because the facility in Longmont wasn't available, and they are governed by at least 45 voting members. I did find on the internet that there was one place that said 45, one place that said 51, but the bottom line is that one member is appointed by each county in the basin, one member is appointed by all of the municipalities. So one person represents all the municipalities within a county. One person is appointed by the Water Conservancy or Water Conservation districts that are in that basin or in that area. One member appointed jointly by the chairpersons of the House and Senate Ag Committees, and 10 members at large. I was going to put a list of all of the voting members up, but I decided instead to go through the list and just highlight and just have for you the names of the individuals from our area that are on this board. And if you look through here, take a look. Is your county represented? And is it represented more than once? Of course, I've got CSU Extension here, Dennis Kahn and Joel Sneecloth. They're not necessarily from the counties, but different entities. And if I have missed someone, I apologize. I went through the list, but notice that this is from our area, and like Congressman Gardner said, there's fewer and fewer of us out here, so we need to be a louder and louder voice. So if you see that your county is not represented, you might consider stepping up and participating in this. Of course, during the 2013, the South Platte Roundtable area had a devastating flood, and this picture was actually taken of the Big Thompson Canyon. So I know that they were trying to help with some repairs there. The South Platte Basin's major projects and programs, as Corey had mentioned, the Northern Integrated Supply, Windy Gap, and then there's a Halligan Seaman also. The Colorado Water Conservation and the Inter-Basin Compact Committee and the Basin Roundtables are all interconnected. The CWCB staffs the Basin Roundtables, and the IBCC, it provides information and water supply information, conducts technical analysis, and provides a board member representation on each one of the roundtables. Then Jim Yon and Eric Wilkerson from the South Platte Roundtable are on the IBCC. So from the ground roots up, we're represented, and then they're represented Water Conservation Board down. So on May 14th in 2013, less than a year ago, Governor Hickenlooper signed an executive order creating the State Water Plan. And it is to incorporate a productive economy that supports a vibrant and sustainable cities, viable and productive agriculture, and a robust skiing, recreation, tourism, efficient and effective water infrastructure promoting smart land use and strong environment. But the thing is that we've got to be most concerned about, I feel, is to make sure that we take care of our portion of the viable and productive agriculture. So the South Platte Roundtable has hired a consultant firm, HDR Engineering, and they are to assist the South Platte Roundtable in writing their portion of the Colorado Water Plan. And HDR Engineering will be doing a presentation in the upcoming RRWCD meeting that's going to be held at Quintec on April the 11th. I suggest that if you have the opportunity that you come and find out what they're doing, because the bottom line is we don't have a lot of time. This was taken off of the website for the Colorado Water Plan, and in it says, water is essential to Colorado's quality of life and economy, but our ability to maintain those values will be challenged by a growing population, increased demands on water, and limited supplies. And you can read down through there, but the one thing I want you to notice here, we have a choice. By taking action now, we can ensure a secure water future, but we all need to be involved, we all need to be informed. And notice again, they're talking about it, but look at how we're dropping down to the last mention on this list. So the Basin Roundtables are bringing together leaders from the Colorado major river basins and the metropolitan area to put together their needs and future. And that plan is supposed to be finalized in July of this year. The CWCB will deliver a draft to the governor's office at the end of this year, and then it is to be finalized by December of 2015. Aren't they cute? The future belongs to our young people. The decisions that we make today will affect northeastern Colorado forever. We need to be engaged in decisions about our water and about our way of life. As they say, you will never know the worth of water until the well runs dry. And back in 1732, Thomas Fuller knew that. So, be informed about the Colorado Water Plan by visiting the CWCB website that's listed here, by visiting the Colorado Water Plan website that's listed here, by attending the South Platte Roundtable meetings, usually in Longmont, on the second Tuesday of the month. You can find out when their meetings are going to be by going to the CWCB website, by contacting one of those members that I had on the board. If you see you've got a board member, talk to one of them. Find out what you need to do or what you can be involved in. But you can also attend the HDR presentation during the next board meeting of the Republican River on April the 10th. So I hope that, if nothing else, what you can take home from all of what you have heard today, that is, in all things, when it comes to water issues, we all need to be informed and we all need to get involved. Everyone knows that water is a lifeblood of our communities, and we all want to continue this way of life. The decisions regarding our water and our future are extremely important. And so, in closing, I want to say, I hope all of you will continue, and my grandchildren and I thank you.